Hey everybody, how's it going? Fiery Zack Attack here. And I just got home from Epic. It's a place I go every Wednesday. I mean, the sign in the back would imply that. And yeah, I don't know. Today was a cool day, I guess. Yeah. It's just so weird right now, cuz honestly, like, through almost the entire night at Epic tonight, I felt very absent-minded. Or maybe not absent-minded, but like all these incredibly awesome thoughts were like blurred together so much that I don't remember any of them now, if that makes sense. Except for a few things. I think the biggest highlight of my night actually was just seeing my friend Kaylah Landess worship. I shouted Kayla out earlier. And I guess I'll just give her the shout out today again, because I really just, Kaylah's amazing to me, and just seeing her worshiping in the front row was so cool to me at Epic tonight, and I'm thankful to have a friend like her. Definitely am. But with that being said, yeah, I mean, I feel like there's more I want to say, but I just have no thoughts gathered right now and no comprehension of what I am even thinking or feeling, other than that God is good. I mean, if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that God is good, and He's greater than I can ever be. The message at Epic tonight was actually about humility, which is something that means everything to me. The whole concept of humility is that's something I try to live my life by as best as I can, because if you look up the meaning of my name, the meaning of Zachary is actually humbled before God. And that's just always something I've identified myself as. Like, I've almost seen it as my mission to be a humble person. And the message tonight was just perfectly in line with my identity and my vision for myself. To be humble. And it wasn't really much that I haven't already learned or that I don't already comprehend, but it was a lot that just really marinated and resonated and motivated me to be that person outside of Epic. Because I think that coming to Epic is cool and all, but the messages they give there are directed towards those people that don't have that relationship with God yet, and that are still finding it. And I think that I've been blessed enough to find it, and now it's time to go out and share it. And it's just like, it's just such a crazy step. And as I'm going into my senior year, as I'm going into my future, unknowing of what's to come, with that as a possibility, again, humility is just so huge, because you can't do that kind of stuff with a humble heart. You can't do mission work without a humble heart, because you don't get physical rewards for giving up your life to go travel the world and tell people about God. You don't get a physical reward for that. The reward is all spiritual at that point. And just where I am right now, this bedroom, I mean, if you look around, you can see a bunch of junk food, plates. My mom just bought me Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, straight up, I have so much stuff that I would not have even an inkling of if I humbled myself in the way that I think that I'm being called to. I don't know how soon or in what form, but I know I'm going to be a missionary, and I know I'm going to be called to work that is not of the normal American society. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm not about to get into business, and as much as I love Walmart, I'm not going to be there forever. It's just like the calling that God has placed on me, the purpose that He's given me. It's just so crazy, because like, like, a lot of the time I don't feel qualified to the calling that He's given me, but I'd have to remember that God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. And as He calls me to these things, it's only with Him in me that I'm going to be able to do any of these things. So I just really need to rely on that, fall back on that, give him everything, because it's all about him. It's all about you, Jesus. It's all about you, God. So, again, with that all said and done, the last thing I want to do is sing a song, because that's what I do in these videos. It's not going to be a Christmas song today, because there was actually a song at Epic that I heard playing on the speaker, and usually I don't pay attention to the background music while everybody's talking and fellowshipping and socializing. But right at the end of the night, when they turned the music back on and everyone was just talking and socializing and fellowshipping and whatever, I was just in a deep period of reflection, because the message really just sent me into a spiral of confusion, and, well, not really confusion, but just my mind was unclear about what was the takeaway from the night, and I'm still not really even sure as I'm filming this video right now. It's just kind of an empty headspace with thoughts flowing through as I speak, but I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to just let it flow, not overthink. I think that it was cool to have my mind as clear as it was throughout the night tonight. I mean, there were some worries and fears, but with that being said, I mean the song that played over the loudspeaker was Marvelous Light by Ellie Holcomb. It's a song that I actually was very surprised to hear, because Ellie Holcomb is actually somebody that is not really one of the biggest singers in the Christian business. Like, I remember she opened a concert for Stephen Curtis Chapman that I went to in March, and that was the only reason I ever heard of her. Or was it May? I don't remember. It was sometime in that general proportion of the year. And yeah, she was just like the opening act that nobody really cared about. Like, you could tell that everybody just wanted to see Stephen Curtis Chapman. But Ellie was actually the one that stood out to me the most that night. And I guess I'll give further shout out to Ellie Holcomb. Is amazing. Because she had so much enthusiasm and excitement about being there, even though she was just the opening act. Like, the people that came there didn't come there for her. They came out for Stephen Curtis Chapman. But the thing about Ellie is that she wasn't there for anyone. She wasn't there for her fans. She wasn't there for anything other than God, and just to sing her music according to her calling for His glory. And I think that this song reflects that calling on her life. And the way that she smiled on the stage when I went to that concert was just so incredible, because the smile on her face was brighter than the sun. It was just crazy how she always had such a big, bright smile, and that it really moved me, man. I'm just so thankful again that I had that opportunity. So, with that being said, let's jump into Marvelous Light, and then we'll call it a night. Here we go. I am not who I once was, defined by all the things I've done. Afraid of it would be exposed, afraid of really being known. But then you gave my heart a home, so I walked out of the darkness and into the light. I'm freer to shame into the hope of life. Mercy called my name and made a way to fly out of the darkness and into light. Keeping secrets safe, I'm wondering if I could change. When your heart and all alone, your heart can turn into a stone. But that's not the way I want to go. So I walked out of the darkness and into your light. From fear of shame into the hope of life. Mercy called my name and made a way to fly out of the darkness and into the light. No place I'd rather be. Your light is marvelous. Your light is marvelous. You have come. So I walked out of the darkness and into the light, from fear of shame into the hope of light. Mercy called my name and made a way to fly through the darkness and into your light. La 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 light. Light. Just a quickie thought before I call it off. As I was singing the song and as I decided to point the camera at the light just instantaneously, it just reminded me of something that God spoke to me tonight as I was just like looking at the sky. And as I looked at the sky, it was dark except for a few bright lights, the stars and the moon, specifically the moon, because I think that where I'm at right now, my life is like a morning, or not even like a morning, it's like a midday, it's like the middle of the day when the sun is shining bright, and I feel like God is like the sun for me. He's keeping my light so bright right now. But eventually the sun is going to set. Eventually the day comes to an end. And at that point, it's my duty to be the moon and to reflect the light to those in the darkness. There are going to be times when God's presence, or not even presence, because God is always present, but God's tangibility in the atmosphere is going to be up to me. And it's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to us to make God sensible. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are atmospheres when God's presence can be seen without even trying. But there are also atmospheres where you have to bring Him to the table for Him to speak. Like in church, or at Epic, or at prayer group, or wherever that you're supposed to engage with God, He's always going to be there, because obviously that's the place where you've given Him time. But sometimes you have to really step out in places where sometimes God isn't as prevalent or as recognizable. In those dark spaces, you have to be the moon, and you have to reflect the light, because sometimes the light will already be shining. Sometimes God's sun will already be there. But when the sun sets, are you reflecting that light as the moon, or are you leaving the earth in darkness? And yeah, that was just an interesting analogy I got tonight. It's something that I've already had a couple times before, and there's actually a song by Philip Wickham called "The Sun and Moon," which deals with that idea of being the moon to God's sun. But yeah, it really hit me hard, and a lot of stuff hit me tonight that, like, again, I said, I just haven't processed it all yet. But with everything that I did say, I leave you, and I pray that you all continue to have a very, very merry holiday season, Christmas season, and God bless.